Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Coaster Legacy. It's my very first video ever, and today I have a tier list that has a bunch of roller coasters from my favorite theme park that I go to, Kings Island. And today we are going to go from tier list from F to S. Obviously, you probably know S is probably top and F is obviously the lowest. And we are going to rate every single coaster. And also, I am playing with my friends, so it's going to be hard to do this and that. But I really want to play, so if I do cut out a little bit, it's because I cut out the parts that I stopped. And, yeah. So anyways, Alright, so the very first coaster, we're going to start from small to big. So there's a total of 15 roller coasters in this theme park. And we're going to start with the Great Pumpkin Coaster. So let's go over to Wikipedia and learn about the Great Pumpkin Coaster. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so as you know, the Great Pumpkin Coaster is located in Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. So the section is Planet Snoopy. It has been operating since 1992. The maximum height that you can go on, the minimum height, sorry, is 32 inches, and the maximum height without a child is 60 inches. So obviously, the type of a coaster is a steel and kiddie coaster. The track layout is an oval, and the rider per train is 12. It is a regular lift hill, and the height is 8 feet. Not very tall. It's, like I said, it's not very fun ride because it's also a kiddie coaster, and whoever rides that has to be like 3 years old. The length of the ride is almost 200 feet, 199 feet. It has 0 inversions, and the duration is 52 seconds. And I don't know if you guys know, but the coaster, they do coaster twice because how short it is. The train on the track has single train with 6 cars in each car. Single train with 6 cars in each rider is arranged with 2 across in a single row, for a total of 12 riders per train. So, like I said just a second ago, it's not that big of a coaster. So, let's go ahead and rate this on the tier list. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, and obviously you don't know where I'm going to put the Great Pumpkin Coaster. We're going to put it at F because it's so... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and go to the next coaster, and we are going to step up to Woodstock Express. It's one step up from the from the kiddie coaster. It's actually the smallest wooden roller coaster at Kings Island. And alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and go to Wikipedia and learn about that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so as we all know, Woodstock Express is the smallest wooden roller coaster at Kings Island. It's located in Kings Mills, Ohio, USA, aka Kings Island. The section of it is Planet Snoopy. It's operating since April 29th, 1992. So it actually is one of the oldest roller coasters in Kiddieland. Or Planet Coaster, not Planet Coaster, Planet Snoopy. And, I'm so sorry guys, I'm like drained and doing multitasking. It's probably the smallest one roller coaster in Camp Snoopy and Planet Snoopy. And the oldest. The minimum height is 40 inches. The minimum height is 46 inches. The type is wooden. The track layout is figure 8. The riders per train is 20, hour capacity 1200. It is a regular train lift hill, and the serial number is 141. I don't know why you want the train lift hill, but I mean, there it is right there. The height is 39 feet and drop is 30 feet. The top speed on the ride is 35 miles an hour, so it's quite fast for a kiddie roller coaster. It has 0 inversions, figured, and the duration is 1 minute and 30 seconds. The train it's a single train with 5 cars in each car. Riders are arranged with 2 across and 2 rows for a total of 20 riders per train. So this is the picture of the ride in 2007. That's a lot of math. It's not really a recent photo of it, but it basically looks the same. So ladies and gentlemen, let's head back to the tier list, and yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back at the tier list and we are going to rate Woodstock Express. And my friend probably knows kind of where I live, but he'll probably not because that's yeah, that's not even close where I live. So anyway, that's all I'm telling him. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the tier list. Let me get concentrated with both things. The tier list on this Woodstock Express, we're gonna have to. Hey, that's my shoulder. We'll have to put it at C, because it also isn't a bad ride. But like I said, well, I didn't say anything yet. It isn't like Banshee, Orion, Mystic Timbers, The Beast, The Bat, Diamondback, Racer, and all like that. And Flight of Fear. You also have Flight of Fear in there too, if you guys can see that. But it's not that bad of a ride. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to go on the next ride, and that's going to be Flying Ace Aerial Chase. But since they remodeled it last year to Woodstock's Aerial, and now it's green and brown. So let's go ahead and go to Wikipedia to learn about the ride. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, location is Mission, Ohio, USA, obviously at Kings Island. There's the coordinates. I don't know why you want the coordinates to it, but you have the coordinates there. The section is Planet Snoopy and Camp Snoopy, blah blah blah. It has been open since April 7th of 2001. The minimum height is 44 inches and the maximum height is 46 inches. And the manufacturer is Vekoma. It's probably, and also this is not the one of the last ones, never mind. It is a suspended family coaster. The type of it is a steel inverted coaster. The price per train is 20 and the hour capacity is 650. That is a lot of people in 1 hour. So the lift hill is a tire propelled lift, so it isn't an ordinary lift hill. That's what's cool. I think that's kind of unique for a type of the area is going to have to do a lot of math here, but I'm not doing that math, so I'm just going to say it all. The area is 193.6 feet times 121.4 feet. The height is 48.6 feet. The top speed is 26 miles an hour. And the length is 1,122.1 feet. It has 0 versions and the G-force is 2.2. It has one single train with 10 cars and each rider is arranged at 2 across in the single row for a total of 20 riders per train. And this is what the station looks like before you get on the ride. This is the picture of the roller coaster. Obviously, this is the old version because it's not yellow no more. It's green and brown. It has a green track with green supporters. So let's head back to the tier list. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, and we have, after this one, we have like 9 or 10 coasters left. I think 12. Actually, I think it's 12. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to rate this coaster because it is a tier list and we have to list it. I have rode it 3 times. Last time I have rode it, it was still yellow, so I haven't rode it recently. But if it is better, I'm sorry, but last time it was short and it was jerky a little bit. So it ain't the greatest coaster, but I mean, once again, you're in Kiddie Land, so I mean, you're going to have to step up the game before you get to the Orion. Unless you're just a big baller and you want to start up your Orion first. Anyway, tier list. Let's go ahead and put this at also C, because also it ain't a bad coaster and it ain't a good coaster. So C is the perfect one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have 12 coasters left, and we're going to do the last one in Kiddie Land, and that is Snoopy Soapbox Racers. Their newest attraction in the park. So, as we know, we're going to freaking put this in the Wikipedia, and we're going to read it, and then we are going to tier it up. Well, we're going to tier list it, and then we are going to head down to the first actual big coaster in the list. Ladies and gentlemen, last coaster of Kiddie Land. Section Planet Snoopy and Camp Snoopy has been opening since May 24th of 2024. The minimum height is 38 inches and the maximum height 82. It is a Vekoma Family Boomerang coaster. It is a steel and shuttle coaster, roller coaster, and it's a booster wheel lift hill. If you don't know what that is, it's that. It's a picture of two wheels on the side, and it just pushes you up the roller coaster. The max height is 75.5 feet. That's really high for a kiddie coaster. Top speed 37.3 mile an hour. Length is 672.6 feet. It has 0 inversions and 1 minute and 36 seconds. It has 3 G-forces, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we have stepped up the game to 3 G-forces. Single train with 10 cars, and each train or riders are arranged 2 across in a single row for a total of 20 riders per train. If I speak too loud for you, you can slow down the video. I don't feel like editing the video, so I slow down the video. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and go back to the tier list, and we are going to rate the ride. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, and I have actually just only rode the train. Well, roller coaster once, not the train. I rode it once, and it wasn't bad, and also it wasn't fun. So it isn't going to be in C tier, and it's not my type of coaster. I'm sorry. It's going to have to go to F tier. I mean, not F tier, D tier, because I'm not putting in the worst, but it's just bad. So it's just bad. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally out of the kiddie coaster, the kiddie land era, and now we are going to hit up Adventure Express, the smallest and also biggest coaster in the park, and then we'll hit up Queen City Stunt Coaster. It used to be called Backlot Stunt Coaster until this year they remodeled it to Queen City. And then we'll hit up the Racer, and then Invertigo, and then the Bat, and then Mystic Timbers, then the Banshee, then Flight of Fear, then the Diamondback, and the last one, Orion. We'll have the Orion last. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this knocked out. Alright, so we have finally made it to the big coasters. Adventure Express. Let's start with that one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Express in 2017. This is the most recent picture of it. Well, it's not really. I recorded a video last Friday. But I lost the video because they made me do it. And we actually have a new thing in the thing. It's called Cost. Alright, Section Adventure Port. It has been open since April 19th of 1991. Did I say 18th, 19th? I mean 13th. It's it costs $4 million, and the rider height minimum is 48 inches. It is a runaway train. It is a steel hybrid train with a hour capacity of 1,600 people in 1 hour. Has 2 train lift hills, a height of 63 feet, drop 47 feet, and top speed 35 miles an hour. The length is actually pretty long. It's 2,963 feet. 0 inversions. It's a 2 minute and 20 second ride, and the G-forces is 3.8. Alright, here we go. 3 trains with 5 cars per train, and each car riders are arranged of 2 across and 3 rows, for a total of 30 riders per train. The 3rd train was removed in 2009 and now it is rotated with the other 2 trains each season. So if you don't get that, that means they take out a train and put the other one in, but then after that they're going to put that other one, and yeah, if you get what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go back to the tier list and rate this ride. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, and so if you have Rodin Adventure Express at Kings Island, it's a very, very jerky ride. It's very... So, this is not going to be a hard one to choose. We're going to put this in C tier. I'm sorry, it has to be in C tier because it's also a good themed ride, but it's also a very jerky ride, so it ain't going to be in B tier, A, or S tier. Ladies and gentlemen, we only got one more small big coaster left until we actually get into big hill coasters. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and go to learn about some facts about the Queen City Stunt Coaster, aka Backlot Stunt Coaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the Queen City Stunt Coaster. It's actually our very first launch coaster in the video today. As you know, the location, Mason, Ohio, Kings Island. Section, Coney Mall. It's operating since May 20th of 2005. The rider height, 48 inches is minimum. So it replaced Les Taxi, Ohio Overland, Auto Livery, and Flying Acres. The type is a steel launch coaster. It has 3 limb launches. I think the second one is the coolest one because they have like helicopter showing at ya. It's yeah. Here's a POV video of it. Okay, since you watched that cool POV video, let's just get back into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the height is 45.2 feet. The drop is 31.2 feet also. The top speed is 40 miles an hour. The length of the track is 1960 feet. Sorry guys, I had a drink, a Sprite, because my voice hurts so much for speaking. It's not even funny. So I said that wrong, guys. It's 1,960 feet. That's a lot better. It has 0 inversions. I'm surprised. Well, no. Wait, yeah, never mind. I'm not surprised. The duration is 1 minute and 4 seconds. That's kind of fast for a launch coaster, but also launch coasters are very fast at certain times. And guys, did you know the launch coaster of the Queen City Stunt Coaster goes back 40 miles an hour in 3 seconds. Where is that information at? I lost the information for it. Oh well, it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 cars per train. Riders are arranged with 2 across and 2 rows for a total of 12 riders per train. So here is the outline, and here is the aerial view of the ride. So this is the first launch. What you do is they launch you 40 miles an hour, and you spin up, and then you go down, you spin, you turn, blah blah blah, and then you go over here, and then you stop. You got the helicopter, and then you got fire. They launch you then. I honestly don't know where the third launch is, but this is what it looks like. If you want to pause the video, save it. I don't care what you do with it. It ain't mine, so you have to get credit from Jonathan Gold, whatever you say his name. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the tier list and rate this ride. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, so I am excited because, I can rate one of our final, yeah, I said like, 5 million times. Alright, so the Queen City Stunt Coaster, if you're new to Kings Island, it's used to be called Backlot Stunt Coaster, but then this year they have remodeled it to Queen City from Cincinnati, Ohio. Alright, so the Backlot Stunt Coaster, aka Queen City Stunt Coaster, is probably top 5 of my favorites of the rides because once again it's a launch coaster and I love launch coasters. So it's not gonna be hard. So I'm gonna have to put this in B tier. It ain't gonna go in S tier because it ain't that special of a roller coaster. But our very first B tier coaster. If you guys don't agree with me, I don't care because it's my life. Well, it is my life, but I don't care because it's my opinion. This is just off my perspective of Kings Island, because, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have entered the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top 9 coasters in the video. And, yeah. Let's go ahead and go with the racer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's also, on this thing, is also one of our oldest coasters that's in the park. It was probably one of the first coasters. It's actually the very first thing they built. Because, they started on the coaster, and then they started with the tower. So, anyway, section is Coney Mall. It's been open since April 29th, 1972. The cost of it is $1,200,000. The minimum height is 48 inches, and the type is a 1-in-twin coaster, and the track layout is out and back. Riders per train is 30 people, and our capacity is 2,640. There is a good old train lift hill, and the serial number is 140. I don't know why you want a serial number, but yeah, there it is. The height of it is 88 feet, and the drop is 82 feet. Top speed 53 miles an hour, and the length is 3,415 feet. It has 0 inversions, and the drop angle is 45 degrees. It has a 2-minute ride, and it has 4 trains and 5 cars per train, and each car riders are arranged with 2 across and 3 rows for a total of 30 riders per train. So that means let's go ahead and go to the tier list and rate this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are at the tier list. So the racer, it is fun to have beef with the other side of the coaster. It's very fun to have beef. You can race the coaster. Well, you don't, but you're inside and hopefully you win. But anyway, let's go ahead and rate this ride. You probably will hate me, but too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the racer at, what do you think I should put? I should put an F tier. Just kidding, guys. We're at B tier again. So, B tier all the way. Has to be 100% B tier. Because it ain't right. Sorry, guys. Alright, so B tier. Alright, anybody, let's go to the Vertigo. So start with the Vertigo. So let's go ahead and go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Vertigo in 2012. This is what Vertigo looks like. So if you don't know what it looks like that. So the section is Action Zone. It's been operating since April 17th of 1999. The max rider height is minimum of 54 inches. It is in product in Vertigo. It's a steel inverted shuttle. It's semi-backwards too. It's also a boomerang. It has 28 people per train. The area is 282.2 feet times 98.4 feet. Height is 131.3 feet. Top speed 50 miles an hour. Length 1,013.8 feet. Has track inversions 3, rider inversion 6, duration 1 minute and 30 seconds. Has G-force of 5. It is a single train with 7 cars and a range of 2 across and 2 rows for a total of 28 riders. So let's go back to the tier list and rate this ride. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here again in the tier list. Ladies and gentlemen, Vertigo, it's very bumpy. I don't like it, so it's going to have to be F tier. Why am I talking so fast, guys? Like, I'm sorry if I'm talking way too fast. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, guys, if it's been really bad. I have been editing the times I have been talking to my friend and my cousin. She's also online. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to we are going to do the bat. So the bat I have rode millions of times. We are at the bat, and this is what the bat looks like. This is what it looks like now with the orange track and gray suspended. Suspenders, whatever you freaking call them. Why did I say suspenders? Those are freaking grandpa type farmer stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is freaking like so it's been operating since April 9th, 1993. The minimum height to be is 42 inches. It's manufactured aerodynamics. The product is a spinning coaster, probably one of the last types of spinning coasters in the world. It's type steel spinning terrain. The 28 passengers per train. The hour capacity is 1,200 people. And it's a regular train lift. The height is 78 feet, and the elevation change is 90 feet. The drop is 70 feet, top speed 51, length 2,352. It has 0 inversions, drop angle is 45 degrees, and duration is 1.2. And we did drop down to GeForce 2.9, and that fun stuff. So it has 2 trains with 7 cars per train, and each rider in each car. Riders are arranged in 2 across and 2 rows for a total of 28 riders per train. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's head back to the tier list and rate this ride, and then we can get the final 5, I think, if I want the final 6. So ladies and gentlemen, see at the tier list. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the tier list. Did I rate it already? Oh wait, right there. Why? Okay, like guys, why am I talking so fast? It's like it's not even funny. Mainly because I'm doing multitasking and drinking a pop at like 9 o'clock at night. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have the bat to list up, and I think we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 6 left. So the bat isn't probably going to be around Kings Island much longer, because due to the accident that happened a couple seasons ago, sorry, for the partial derailment where the wheel fell off the car because the bent track. But everything's fixed, but everybody says it's rough and it's just in the back of the park and like hard to get to. Most people forget about it unless they go to the Eiffel Tower and see it, or the Banshee or something like that. But the bat, I mean, it's not that bad, so I'm gonna have to put it in B tier. No, A tier, because it's not that bad of a roller coaster. I mean, I kind of feel bad for it being what happened a couple seasons ago, that partial derailment. So anyway, guys, we have the Diamondback, the Beast, Mystic Timbers, Banshee, Orion, and Flight of Fear. So let's go ahead and do Mystic Timbers. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a new section part of the video. It's called Rivertown. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it because it's already 9 o'clock, as you can see. Operating since April, it has been operating since April 15th of 2017. It's probably one of the shortest,
oh my gosh,
it's the 3rd newest roller coaster at Kings Island. It costs $15 million to buy if you want to buy it or build. The rider height minimum is 48 inches, and it's a wooden track, and it's in the track layout is an out and back. Riders per train 24, and hour capacity is 1,200 people per hour. It is a regular train lift too, so that's good. The height is 192 feet, and the drop is 98 feet. Top speed is 53 miles an hour, and the length of 3,265 feet. It has 0 inversions, and the drop angle is 53 degrees. And it has 3 trains with 12 cars per train, and each car riders are arranged with 2 across in a single row for a total of 24 riders per train. So let's head back to the tier list, and yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, obviously Mystic Timbers is one of my favorite roller coasters in the park. So we're gonna have to put this in since it's also everybody's fan favorite ride. We're going to have to put this at a S tier because it's obviously an S tier type coaster. I'm sorry. If you hate it, I don't care. It's a very, very, very good coaster. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the top 5 roller coasters. So we're gonna go ahead and do the Beast, and then we're gonna do the Banshee, and then we're gonna do Flight of Fear, and then we're gonna do Diamondback, and then we are going to do Orion. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the Beast. Alright, so section is Rivertown. The Sash has been open since April 14th in 1979. It is also one of the longest wooden roller coasters in the world. It has a very good, fun dark ride. If you ride in dark, you can't see nothing. It's just pitch black. Anyway, its type is a 1-inch terrain with hour capacity is 200. 1,200 people, and it has 2 train lift hills, the height of 110 feet, and the drop is 141 feet. The top speed is 64.8 miles an hour, the length is 7,361 feet, has 0 inversions, the drop angle 53, and duration 4 minutes. G-force is 3.6, and yeah.
I'm back.
She's back. Ariel's back. Summer has 3 trains with 6 cars per train. And each car riders are among the 2 across or 3 in a row for a total of 36 riders per train. The trains were built by Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters. And this is what the beast looks like, if you don't know what it looks like. It looks like that.
This is so Minecrafty.
So let's head back to, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the tier list, and I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to go ahead and just rate this at the S tier, because it's a very good ride for me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at top 4 roller coasters, and we're going to go ahead and do the Banshee, and then we'll do Flight of Fear, and then Diamondback, and then Orion. And then we are done with the video. You don't have to hear me yap about a bunch of stuff. So Banshee is up next. Here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so it cost $24 million to build. The status is the operation since April 18th of 2014. And the rider height is 52 inches, maximum 78 inches. It actually did replace Son of Beast. The type is a steel inverted coaster. Riders per train 32. And our capacity is 1,650. And it has regular train lift hill. The height is 167 feet. The drop is 150 feet. And top speed 68 miles an hour. The length is 4,124 feet, and it has 7 inversions and duration of 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It has 3 trains with 8 cars per train, and each car rides ranges 4 across in a single row, for a total of 32 riders per train. This is the first beam invert to utilize vest harnesses instead of trainable motors. So this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like, and that's what it should look like. Why do they have that movement? That's pretty cool. That's just pretty cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the tier list, and it only took me just a second, and yeah. So let's go ahead and rate it. It's one of my favorite rides, so we're gonna have to put this at A tier because it did make me sick every time I ride it, but I still ride it every time because it's a good ride, so that's why it's at A tier. Otherwise, it'll be at S tier. But I just get sick every time I write it, so I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go Flight of Fear. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Section Area 72. It has been operating since June 18th, 1996. The cost is $11.2 million. The rider minimum height is 52 inches. It is a catapult coaster. And I have no idea who that is. It is a steel launched enclosed coaster. It has 20 riders per train and 2,000 riders per hourly capacity. It is a LIM launch coaster, and the height is 74.2 feet, top speed 54 miles an hour, 2,705 feet. It has 4 inversions and 1 minute how long and 4.5 Gs. It has 4 trains and 5 cars, and each rider has a range of 2 in 2 rows for a total of 20 riders. Flight of Fear originally had 4 trains of 6 cars each. Today it has only 2 of these trains operating with only 5 cars each. And this is what it looks like. If you don't know what the track looks like, it's just a big ball. See, it's just a big ball. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the tier list, and it's gonna be A tier because, first of all, I don't like it. I mean, I absolutely love it, but it's just jerky, and that's why it's A tier. It's just too jerky for a type of coaster. Alright guys, we're in the last two and we're going and go on Diamondback. Alright, Diamondback. The section of Rivertown has been operating since April 18th of 2009. The cost to buy the built roller coaster is $22 million. 54 inches minimum to ride.
Kick.
It is a hypercoaster, and it's a steel hypercoaster, and the track layout is out and back. It has 32 riders per train, and the hour capacity is 1,620. It does have a proper train lift hill, so that's very, very good. The height is 230 feet, and the drop is 215. Top speed 80 mile an hour. Sorry, I had like a big voice crack there. It has 0 inversions, drop angle 74 degrees, and it's 3 minutes long. This ride does have 3 trains with 8 cars per train, and each car riders are arranged 4 across in a single row for a total of 32 riders per train. Riders are held by a lap bar. If you don't know what that is, it's literally, yeah, it's just a lap bar. This is what it looks like. This is what the layout looks like. It's fun. This is a lap bar. Alright, I'm not going to talk much about it, since you probably are bored, like, oh my god, stop talking, man, stop talking. Let's just go ahead and put this in S tier because it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite coasters. Alright, we are down to the last coaster, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put this in S tier because Zone Line is it's one of my favorites. So the S tiers and A tiers is one of my favorite roller coasters, and this is basically what I like. But we are still going to talk about it because it's protocol. Alright, so this is Keenzon's second newest coaster. It has been operating since July 12th of 2020. It cost $30 million to build. The rider height minimum is 54 inches. It did replace Firehawk, and that was my absolute favorite. This is what it is, but red. It is a hyper coaster, but it's counted as a giga coaster. It is a steel and giga coaster. It's 32 riders per train, hour capacity 1,650. It has a regular train lift hill, and the height is 287 feet, the drop 300 feet. Top speed 91 mile an hour. That's almost 100 mile an hour going down. The length is 5,321 feet, and it has 0 inversions, drop angle 85 feet, so you're basically going straight down. The duration is 3 minutes. It has 3 trains with 8 passengers per train, and each car arranged with 4 across in a single row for a total of 32 per train. So we are going to go back to the tier list and tier it up. Ladies and gentlemen, I already rated it in the beginning, so it says tier 100%. But it looks like we are done with this video, and I am excited to edit this because this is going to be a big video. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like and subscribe and comment on this video and share me. Hit that notification bell, support me, man. This channel really needs to grow, and I really want this channel to grow. So anyway, Coaster Legacy, out.